Kate Hudson has never been shy about expressing gratitude for the people who shaped her journey in Hollywood, but her recent tribute to Rob Reiner struck a particularly emotional chord. In a heartfelt message that quickly resonated across the industry, Hudson honored the legendary filmmaker's towering legacy, his generosity of spirit, and the profound personal impact he had on those lucky enough to work with him. For Hudson, Rob Reiner was never just a celebrated director with an iconic filmography. He was a mentor, a storyteller with rare empathy, and a guiding presence who believed deeply in actors as collaborators rather than simply performers. Her tribute read like a love letter not only to a Hollywood great, but to a man whose influence extended far beyond the camera lens. She reflected on the way Reiner made people feel seen. On set, she recalled, he had an almost uncanny ability to create an atmosphere of trust, one where vulnerability was welcomed and creativity could flourish. Hudson described him as someone who listened more than he spoke, yet when he did speak, his words carried warmth, humor, and intention. It was that balance, she suggested, that made him such a beloved figure across generations of actors. Hudson also emphasized Reiner's humanity. In an industry often criticized for its sharp edges and relentless pace, he stood out as someone who led with kindness. She spoke about how he remembered details about people's lives, asked about families, and treated crew members with the same respect he offered A-list stars. To her, that was his true legacy, not just the films that became cultural touchstones, but the example he set every day on set. The tribute highlighted how Reiner's work shaped Hudson's understanding of storytelling. She credited him with teaching her that great films are built on emotional truth, not spectacle alone. According to Hudson, Reiner believed that audiences connect most deeply when stories reflect real human experiences, love, fear, humor, heartbreak, and hope. That philosophy, she said, stayed with her long after the cameras stopped rolling. Hudson's words also touched on Reiner's unwavering belief in others. She recalled moments of doubt early in her career when his encouragement made all the difference. A quiet nod, a gentle note after a take, or a simple, "I trust you," helped her find confidence at crucial moments. Those gestures, she suggested, are why so many performers credit Reiner with bringing out the best in them. Beyond the professional realm, Hudson's tribute carried a sense of personal loss. She wrote about the silence left behind when someone with such a commanding yet comforting presence is no longer part of the daily conversation. For her, remembering Reiner meant remembering laughter between takes, thoughtful conversations about life, and the rare feeling of being part of something meaningful. The response from fans and fellow actors was immediate. Many echoed Hudson's sentiments, sharing their own memories of Reiner as a director who valued heart as much as craft. Her tribute seemed to open a collective space for reflection, one where people could pause and acknowledge the lasting imprint of a man who helped define modern Hollywood storytelling. What made Hudson's message especially powerful was its sincerity. There were no grand gestures or dramatic declarations, just honest gratitude and quiet reverence. In an age of carefully curated public statements, her words felt deeply personal, as if she were speaking directly to him rather than to an audience. Ultimately, Hudson framed her tribute as a promise as much as a farewell. She vowed to carry forward the lessons Reiner taught her, to lead with compassion, to honor collaboration, and to never forget the human stories at the center of every film. In doing so, she suggested, his influence would continue, alive in the work and values of those he inspired. Kate Hudson's tribute served as a poignant reminder that while films may define a career, it is character that defines a legacy. Through her words, Rob Reiner was remembered not just as a legendary filmmaker, but as a kind, thoughtful, and deeply impactful human being, one whose spirit continues to shape Hollywood long after the final cut.